put these nice arms on our cart. It's kind of hard to maneuver in rough terrain, so I just milled them out of some spare ash I had in my shop, bolted them up. Works really good. Almost like a wheelbarrow now. Ling Ling thinks it looks like an ice cream machine. That's why I put our little bell on it. This is the gold bell. We ring that when we find big giant nuggets. Okay, we spent about an hour and a half just throwing all that dirt. Started getting bigger rocks. The left side of it is really sandy silt. I ran into that in the last hole too, and right below that it got pretty good, so we stopped there. The right side of that bench is gravelly, bigger rock. We're probably going to head down creek from here. I'll maybe go up into the hill a little farther. It depends on what happens. But I'm noticing that to the left side of that bench, it's lighter, fluffy, sandy material. On the right side of it, it's bigger rock, gravelly, and that's where we've been taking out probably the better gold. But we'll look at it this time. The other thing is when we're digging and benching out these holes, we try to cut our banks as vertical as we can. I mean, the object is to get to the bottom and get as much bedrock exposed. So if you slope your bank in, it leaves you with less bedrock to clean. It's a function of, you know, how stable the soil is. You got to pay attention to that. But we try to take it down vertically or slightly inverted. And then when we get down right on top of the bedrock, we undermine it. We start trenching and getting all the good material out from underneath it. Okay, over on this right side, we started, you know, picking up bigger rocks, and real big rocks now. This is probably one of the bigger rocks that we've gotten into. And when we got into big rocks down below, that's when we started picking up more chunkier gold. The rocks, there's less sand, silty material, and it's more gravel on this side. Over here, this is all pretty sandy still. For whatever reason, it deposited a lot of light blonde sand over here. And the farther we go, maybe we'll figure out why. But from the first weekend that we were up here, we were 100% in prospecting mode. Just punching holes, trying to figure out what goes on. We had some history of the area from how the old timers mined it, what was up here. And I started down in the gut of the creek just to get a feel of what was going on. And in the previous videos, you saw the other holes that we punched, and it kind of gave me some information regarding what was up here as far as bedrock. So now we knew that this bedrock up here was all this decomposing soft stuff, which I was just punching through it. So now we know there's no need to do that. I punched through deep enough to know that it's not false bedrock. I mean, 2 feet into that stuff. I mean, if there is something else down there, it's just too far to get to with pick and shovel. So the second weekend we were up here, we were probably in 70% prospecting mode, 30% mining mode still. We ran a lot of material. I was trying to just figure out how far the echo banker would go. And we ran 56 buckets in 2.5 days. So now we're just trying to, we're probably 50-50. We're still learning. We're going to pay attention to what the dirt's telling us. But we know enough now that we're throwing out all this top material. And hopefully our gold per bucket starts to go up. It's pretty low right now, even with some of that bigger stuff, because a lot of it was just prospecting and trying to figure out what was here. So now we have a much better idea. But still, as I'm going, the information this next bench is giving me is more than likely I won't go to the left because of all the blonde sand and lighter material. We'll probably go deeper into this hillside, but then I'll start to turn and go down and follow and chase the bigger rocks as they come up. I mean, we have a saying, big rocks, big gold. I'm sure that's probably not our saying. Other people probably realize that too, but we've been only doing this for about 8 years. So all we can go on is from our experiences that we encounter out in the field. And we've done pretty good so far. Our goal here is to find big chunky gold. You know, sure, if there's a lot of fine gold and stuff and running a lot of buckets, that's great. This is more like trophy hunting. We're not looking for a fork and horn here. We're looking for a giant mammoth, elephant out here. So we'll see how that goes. Well, that's as far as we got. 20 buckets. Threw a lot of material this morning. Started about 9 o'clock. It's about 4:30 right now. Looks like we're going to get a little bit of rain too. Got a little last night. Some thunderclouds came up. Not bad. Hopefully it won't be too much. Processing wet material is kind of a bitch. But we've taken out some gold. No big chunky pieces yet. But tomorrow's another day. Well, that's as far as we got. 2 days. It's about 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon. Ran about another, I guess it was 15 buckets. Picked up a little bit of gold. Nothing big, nothing chunky. A lot of stuff between like 16, 20 mesh, 12 mesh, and some real fine stuff. Well, it's the third time we dug down into that decomposing bedrock. It had some rocks and gravel, and so it made me think that might have a chance for holding gold. But we ran 2 buckets and nothing. So I don't think we'll, even though there's roots growing through it and there's some rocks here and there that you'll see that's like embedded down inside of it a little bit, hasn't been really worth our time to run it. Plus it's really fine. The 60 mesh tailing screen kind of gets plugged up. We got to go really slow, and so I don't anticipate running that stuff much in the future. But it's this lower layer down here. I think that's the one. Somewhere between 12 inches, 16 inches above bedrock. That's the one. Get down to that. Don't play with any of the decomposing stuff down here. It's really, third time running it, and not even a speck, so wouldn't play with that. But we're going to continue going. Got the whole summer to go. Don't know how far we're going to get. There's Lenny's voodoo rocks. What do you got there, Lynn?
My big gold nugget.
What are you going to do with that rock?
It's a beautiful rock. It's going to be a stepping stone.
Where?
My backyard.
You got too many rocks in the backyard already. We don't have room for that rock. You better leave it here.